Senator Roberts.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for appearing. My questions are to the Australian Institute of Family Studies. In June this year, this headline rang out: 1 in 3 men report using intimate partner violence. That was plastered across the views. There was widespread coverage of research from the 10 to Men study by the Australian Institute of Family Studies, which found 1 in 3 men reported being violent towards their partners. Are you aware of that study?
Ms. Liz Neville here from the Australian Institute of Family Studies. Yes, I'm aware of that research.
Thank you. The Institute failed to mention in their report that almost a third, 30.9% of the men surveyed were victims of similar violence, which included both physical and emotional abuse. The correct headline should have been 1 in 3 men report using intimate partner violence and 1 in 3 men report being the victims of intimate partner violence. Why did you misrepresent the data presented in your own study?
Thank you for the question, Senator. You are referring there to what we call bidirectional violence, which is acknowledged in the report. We did not explore deeply the question of men's experience of violence because we were focused primarily on the experience of gender-based violence, which is situated within the ethos of the National Plan to end gender-based violence. So that was a significant factor. There were other issues too in terms of the scope of the report, and I will hand now to Dr. Sean Martin, who is the leader
Let's continue before we come to Mr. Martin. AIFS's reported data excluded all the men who were victims, yet not perpetrators of violence, a total of 355 forgotten survivors, or 7% of the sample. Why was this data excluded, even if the focus of the report was male perpetrators? Surely it provides important context for the community to know that almost as many men are victims as perpetrators of intimate partner violence. Are you peddling feminist propaganda at taxpayers' expense? Because the taxpayers fund you.
Senator, if I
This
could
is
just,
misleading.
If I could just address that question, because I was involved in that report that you're talking to. So, first of all, in terms of men's experiences around intimate partner violence, our approach was driven by external expertise, which suggested the acute need was around data on perpetration of intimate partner violence. Of course, there are other estimates around men's experiences of intimate partner violence, like the personal safety study, which points to 1 in 16 men having recently experienced intimate partner violence, and 1 in 4 women. So that was very much known. The report itself, as you indicate, did include some information around men's experiences of intimate partner violence. The reason we did that, as our director has just pointed out, is we wanted to get a sense of this bidirectional relationship with intimate partner violence. So we wanted to know how many men perpetrated or used intimate partner violence, and how many men both used and experienced intimate partner violence. So that was the approach that we took, because we had to limit the scope of this particular report. What we didn't include in that report was men who solely experienced intimate partner violence, and again that was done purely because we needed to contain the scope of the study. If we wanted to have a look at that specific issue, then it would require a different analytical approach, which is just outside of the scope of this particular report.
Thank you. Let's move to coercive control. In September 2022, the AIFS was contracted by the Department of Social Services to deliver a literature review on coercive control in the context of family and domestic violence. Rather than present a comprehensive review of all the relevant data, AIFS chose to present coercive control as, quote, a gendered phenomenon, actively excluding all data on men's experiences as victims of coercive control from their literature review. Is it true that the ABS Personal Safety Survey of 2016, showing that 40% of emotional abuse victims were male, undergoing similar experiences to female victims?
Senator, I'm not altogether sure which research you were referring to there with respect to the your first commentary, and so can you just repeat the question about I'm not entirely sure I can answer to the ABS survey, but if you could repeat the question.
Your institute was contracted by the Department of Social Services to deliver a literature review on coercive control in the context of family and domestic violence. That's what the context was.
And the question?
Is it true that the ABS Personal Safety Survey of 2016, showing that 40% of emotional abuse victims were male, undergoing similar experiences to female victims?
I can't answer to that. I'm sorry.
Could you take it on notice?
It's a matter for the ABS.
Well, you used that material in your report for the Department of Social Services.
I'm happy to receive the document and provide a more fulsome answer on review of it.
Your department should have it. Your institute should have it because you provided the survey. Take it on notice?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Sorry, just to clarify that, Senator Roberts, it's a departmental document already, not an external document. Sorry.
But they used it. They used the data
But
from ABS.
who's the author and who?
ABS is the author, but they used it.
Okay, can you table the document for the committee, and we'll make sure that it goes through to the department for comment.
Certainly.
Thank you.
If we can get it from ABS. I'm assuming we can.
Well, if you make reference to a document, it should be tabled in committee. They are the standing orders, and so I'm sure someone in your office would be able to assist.
Is it true that the Personal Safety Survey revealed that men and women experience economic abuse in almost equal numbers, again with comparable experiences? You'd like the data?
So, Senator, I assume you're still quoting from that same publication.
ABS.
Yeah, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, so it's another reference.
Yes.
Yeah, so also same source, ABS. Happy to bundle that up in the question taken on notice if that's appropriate.
That'll be fine. Is it true that the AIFS's own 2012 Experiences of Separated Parents study, that was the title, Experiences of Separated Parents study, found fathers reported that their children were exposed to coercive or controlling behaviour at twice the rate of mothers?
I don't have personal knowledge of the 2012 publication, but if you are quoting from a source document...
That's your own study,
Senator,
your AIFS study. Sorry?
It's 2025.
Is it?
Indeed.
Oh, thank you for that.
Well, it's simply that Ms Neville, I imagine, was not working with the Institute at the time that the publication you're referring to was published.
She's relying upon the history within the AIFS.
Yeah, I'm just saying that there are some limitations on officials' personal knowledge. So
I accept that. That's why we're sending the report. Why is AIFS taking an ideological and, in my opinion, dishonest position on this and other issues, denying women's roles as perpetrators of violence and coercive control?
Senator, I don't agree that that's what AIFS is doing, but I'm very happy to take away that particular publication and provide a more fulsome comment.
Thank you. Doesn't this biased approach promote distrust of men in the community, creating division and undermining relationships, hurting families?
I think that the witness has already indicated to you that she doesn't accept your characterisation of the research undertaken by their organisation.
Okay. Thanks, Minister. I'll continue. False sexual assault allegations. In 2021, two independent researchers, Tom Nankerville and John Papademetrio, discovered that the AIFS had misrepresented data on the prevalence of false sexual assault allegations. Your figure, your institute's figure, which is 2021, was 5% of reports to police are false, but that was based on only selecting cases where the complainant admitted it was false or where the police proved the offence was false. After examining the data accurately, the correct figure turned out to be between 10 and 15%. Why did you wait until the researchers had contacted AIFS more than 50 times over 18 months before you quietly removed the misleading report?
Senator, I'm not aware of that particular matter, but I am very happy to take it under consideration if you're able to provide some further documentation.
We have talked about this, Senator Roberts, in a different committee context. I do think witnesses are generally happy to engage with materials that you bring into the committee environment, but it is very difficult for them to do so if they are absent a title, a publication place, a publication date. Ideally, people would be given a copy of materials if you're asking them to comment on them.
We'll get them to you. Because of the researchers had contacted AIFS more than 50 times to get you to correct your position, why did it take 50 times over 18 months, and why did you not issue a retraction or any note on the page the report was on correcting the record?
Senator, I'm not in a position to confirm that.
Can you take it on notice and we'll get you the document?
Senator
Thank you.
Roberts, I just need to know much longer you need. I am about to share the call.
Okay.
One more?
2 more questions.
Okay, great.
As Australia's biggest family research body, taxpayer funded, the organisation surely has an obligation to ensure the information you promote about such a vital issue is correct, because your legislated mission is to conduct high-quality, impartial research into the well-being of Australian families to inform government policy, and that's why it's so important, because the policy is determined partly on this, and promote evidence-based practice in the family services sector. How can you reconcile these 3 cases of bias with your mission statement to provide unbiased research, impartial research?
Senator, I have already said that I don't accept that characterisation, and further that I'm unable to confirm those reports that you have shared, and that's my comment.
So you're taking it on notice?
With respect to the documents that you have raised and there's questions around those documents, yes, I'm happy to take those on notice.
Final question, Senator Roberts.
Yes, Chair. And it means that the government policy is being misdirected, and that's leading to people being hurt and wasting taxpayer funds. And it seems to me that government is number 1 in misinformation, disinformation. That's what a lot of people are saying, and this is more evidence of it. Can you comply with will you give me an assurance that you will comply with your mission statement in the future?
Senator, I adhere to the Minister's statement of expectations, and I have provided a statement of intent in response to that statement of expectations. That's the authorising environment that I am referring to.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Roberts. Senator